Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel again. In today's video, we are going to be focusing on why you should not rely on one social media platform for your creative business. And this is something that I really want to stress today because something happened to me quite recently that really scared me and really made me realize just why it's so important not to do this. So for those of you who don't know, my Facebook and Instagram recently got hacked. It was a really upsetting thing to have happened. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of data breaches over here in Australia lately and quite potentially the world. I haven't really been keeping up with the news, but over here it's definitely been an issue lately. I had my personal Facebook taken down, which was then connected to my Instagram, and it was just like a whole mess. And unfortunately, to this point of recording at this point in time, I haven't gotten my Facebook back. I have managed to get my Instagram back, but let me tell you, it was definitely a time that I was very unsettled and very upset. And I'm going to go through some of the reasons why, but I'm also going to go through some of the things that I've done in the past to really help when something like this does occur. This is one of the reasons that I want to talk about it today, why you shouldn't rely on one social media platform, but there's actually quite a number more of why I believe that you shouldn't. And we're going to go through some of those points today. So first of all, let's just start off with the whole hacking incident. It was really terrible. And I just woke up one morning and got a message on my phone that my Facebook had been disabled. And I thought that was a bit strange because I hadn't been doing anything in terms of like illegal activities on Facebook or anything like that. I hadn't done anything that was against their terms of conditions. So I felt a little bit worried, and I kind of went into the prompts that it gave me when I clicked on the message through Facebook, and it basically asked me to upload some ID and that they would match it against my name and my Facebook account to make sure it was actually me. So I did that. Unfortunately, in this instance, I had recently gotten married and my last name had changed. So my ID didn't actually reflect my new name change. So I didn't have any other ID I could use in that instance, but I only had sort of space to upload an ID. So I just did. And unfortunately, I'm not really sure if it was due to that or something else, but it actually got rejected. And then I got an email basically saying shortly afterwards that I had basically permanently been disabled from Facebook, or that it was a final decision. And I just couldn't believe it because everything in terms of Instagram was connected to that. Instagram is something that I'd worked on for a really long time to build my audience over there. And it's been like over 10 years of working on that account, and I just like broke down. It was horrendous. And Facebook, I really, like in a lot of ways, couldn't really care less about. I don't spend a lot of time on there, especially these days, but it was just really frustrating. And this is all because my main email that was actually connected to my Facebook was a really old one that I never even use anymore. I don't use it. I don't use the email account, the actual provider. I just don't use it anymore. And I'd forgotten, and I hadn't changed the password on that for a long time. And someone actually hacked into my email account, not my Facebook account directly. They'd hacked into my email and then managed to get a forgotten password link sent to that email. And then they managed to hack into my Facebook with that. But obviously Facebook flagged it as suspicious activity and just automatically disabled my account. Luckily, that email address was not connected to anything else of mine, but unfortunately, it did bring down my Instagram. And through luck, pure luck of having an incredible best friend who I was able to ask for help on this particular matter, and she happened to know someone that was able to help me out with getting my Instagram account back. But in terms of my Facebook account, I actually couldn't send through even like a report link or anything like that. They usually have forms that you can sell in to report to Facebook that you've been hacked. I couldn't do that because every time I tried to submit that online, it would tell me that there's no reviewers at Facebook at this time because of the coronavirus and they don't have enough staff. So I had to literally, I was just going around in circles and there was no one else I could really ask for help on this matter. That was just it. So in circumstances like this is why it is so important, I think, to make sure that you have your social media audience or your business spread across different platforms if possible, especially in these circumstances because, for example, if a lot of my audience had been attached to my Facebook account and I had no other accounts, or for example, my Instagram account and I couldn't get that back, that would be gone. It would just be gone and I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. I would literally have no option but to start again. And that would actually just hurt me at my core, considering how long I've spent on my business and how many years I've been working on my social media in particular. Now, I was lucky in this instance, but if someone hadn't been able to get my Instagram account back, I really would have lost a very large portion of my audience who followed me over there. And it's really upsetting to think that that could have been the end of that part of my business until I rebuilt, if that ever happened. And I think this is where it's very important, as I said, to make sure that you're distributing your social media across different channels. For me, I have my YouTube channel as well. I have my Instagram. I also have Pinterest. I have my own website and my own blog, which I have an email list attached to. So I really do have different things going on with my business. And I feel like some of these things are the reason that I just didn't completely lose it when my Instagram account was taken down. And this is why I probably wouldn't have had to start from scratch, essentially, because I do have these other channels that are helping to promote my business and really do have an audience over at those particular points. And this is really important as well. I've done videos on this particular channel before of why you should have your own website. And I really truly feel that it is something so important that every freelancer, every creative business should have, is your own website that you can really call your own. And now I'm going to go into some reasons why that is and why you should really have your own website that is your own. Now we're going to go into some of these other reasons why I think that is really important. So one of those reasons is that platforms and social media platforms can change at any given point. Algorithms can change at any given point. And that is a really scary thought, because this has really happened in several circumstances before with YouTube, with Instagram, where the algorithm has just suddenly changed. For example, for people who are not doing Reels at the moment on Instagram, their Instagram feeds are suffering to an extent because the algorithm is really favoring video content. And for a lot of people who are not wanting to do video content or really don't have a lot of it on their feed, like I said, they're suffering because they're not getting the same audience traction that they once were. And YouTube, especially with the adpocalypse going back a number of years ago, that was a really scary thing where a lot of people just lost ad revenue, lost audience. It was very frustrating, and unfortunately, we don't really have a lot of control over what social media platforms do with their algorithms or do with their platforms. It's just an unfortunate part of running a business in 2022 these days, in this day and age. We really need to diversify. And I think this is a very key word for freelancers in general, is to diversify. Now, with having your own website, this is where things really do work in your favor. Having an email list, you can really control what happens there. It's really important that you do look into this, that you do consider this with your creative business, because if you're able to have your own website where you have an email list, for example, unless you do get hacked, there's nothing that's necessarily going to take that away from you. You do have really a lot of control on those kinds of platforms for your own website. So definitely something to take in consideration for your own creative business. And another reason why you should really spread your social media across a few different platforms instead of just relying on one is to actually reach different audiences and try out with different types of content consumption for potential audiences out there. Now, one of the things that I really want to mention now is that a lot of these platforms attract different audiences. For example, if you're looking at TikTok, you're going to be looking at attracting a lot of Gen Z clients or Gen Z audience members to your work. If you're looking at Instagram, you're looking at a slightly higher age bracket there. And then if you're looking at YouTube, you're looking at so many different types of audiences that really run across the platform, and it's about finding kind of your niche in where you fit in on that particular platform. So really, it's good to be able to reach out to different audiences. It's important to know your own target market, but just know that having your work across different platforms can really contribute to reaching out to different audiences. And one that I actually did forget is even Pinterest. And Pinterest is primarily used by females. And this is something that if you want more of a female influence to your work, on your audience, this is another place where you can really reach out to find that kind of audience. And it's really as simple as just researching to see what kind of platforms are attracting what kind of audiences, and really keeping that in mind for your own creative business in how you want to grow it. But really, in talking about this is why you want to be able to diversify your social media platforms, because you want to be able to attract different audiences at some stage or another. You don't want to just have to stick to one particular audience and never grow past that. And that's one of those things that really will happen if you just rely on one particular social media platform. It's something that's incredibly important to consider, and I really hope that you guys have learned something from today's video in that respect. So thank you guys for watching this video, and please let me know down in the comment section below if you've had any instances like myself with being hacked, or had any of your social media accounts been taken down, or if you feel that you've got anything to add to the conversation around not relying on one social media platform, definitely feel free to put it in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, make sure that you do subscribe to see all the videos that I have coming up in future. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!